Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And lambing group 2 has started. So this is Mabel. She was a milk machine baby from like last spring. So yeah, this is her second lambing. She's got one out. I'm not sure if she's gonna have another one. You know, the sheep will bag up as much as, you know, what they feel they need for their milk. She doesn't have a whole big udder there. That's not to say that that's always how it happens. She may still have another one in there, but we got one cute little, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe girl. We'll look after. Well, yeah, lambing group 2 has started. So for anyone who may be new to the channel, these feeders and this area over here, I shovel up and clean this twice a day just to keep it from getting too built up. Because my lambing pens go around there. Now, normally I would start down in this corner, but because I do have a large amount of ewes in here, I'm gonna start them up in that corner. It just leaves a little bit more room down this way, but I do have about 8 or 10 of them that I'm gonna move over to the group barn that just don't have an udder yet, so it'll take a little of the stress out of this barn. Just having too many sheep in it and the pack will get too deep. And all right, oh, baby laid down again. She's belly is full and she's quite content. Mama's eaten. The rest of these girls are in here as I just about trip over Annie. What I'm finding is it's just too crowded in here in order to leave them enough space over there. I normally don't have problems with 40, but there is 45 in here. So, you know, as 3 or 4 more lamb and have more pens set up here, it's going to be pretty squishy for feeding. So I'm just going to go through and mark anything that doesn't have any udder development. And I'm going to move them over to the group barn / shop. Now, even if they lamb over there, I can just pen them individually. Like it's not like it's a big deal that they're over there. It's still, you know, in this nice weather, there's nothing wrong with them lambing over there. So, and then this will open up so that these ewes aren't competing so much for feed. Now, it's a little extra crowded because I'm standing in front of this feeder. But still, they lost 3 ewes worth of feeding space there when I set up this pen. So I'm gonna lose another, there'll be 6 ewes by the time another one lambs. So, you know, it's not ideal. So I'm just gonna go through with paint can and put a little dot on anything that does not have an udder. All right, so anything that's got a fresh pink dot will be ones that I move out a little later today. For a little refresher, my lambing protocol is they lamb in the group. Usually they lamb over on this side. Then they get put in their own individual lambing jug. Iodine on the navels. Check the mom's teats. Make sure both teats are working and record if they're not, and supplement if needed. And then a nice pail of warm water. And yeah, then they're usually off to the races. And then I usually let them sit until their belly's full for usually a good hour, till they're pretty much dry. And then I do a weight on them and I record the weight. And then from there, when they're 24 hours old, so tomorrow morning, this little girl will get her management tag number. And she will stay in the jug for, usually I say, you know, 24 to 48 hours. It just depends on the ewe. The ewe lambs I usually leave in for 3 or 4 days. But these green tags are second lambers. So I'll probably leave them in close to that 2-day mark. And if I have no rush or no other lambs in the next 2 days, then she'll stay in for 3 until there's a friend for her. Yeah, I'm gonna fill up her water again. That's why I give them warm water. She's already drank half a pail there. So yesterday was the 145-day due date on these guys. Now, most Dorpers will go 147 or 148 days. I always go with the 145 due date just so that I'm a little more prepared. Gives me a couple extra days in case I forgot something, or, you know, like now I'm procrastinating and don't have things done. So I guess this is something else I didn't show you guys. These are the bottle lambs from the December lambing group. So this one, Mom was bad bag. This one's from Big Bertha, and she probably would have been fine on her mom, but I opted to keep her out. This is that first one that was in the short and one of the other videos from Christmas, the first bottle baby. And same thing, her mom had a bad bag. Triplet, triplet, and triplet. Now, I do have a sick one in here, and this just goes to show the importance of colostrum. This poor little lamb, I have been doctoring her for about 2 weeks, and she's not getting better. It's not clostridial, but because she was the smallest triplet, and maybe I could be considered a bad shepherd for not doing this, but I tried to top those triplets up, and I could not get them topped up. Anyway, long story short, I don't think she got enough colostrum, and she's been kind of on the lower end all the way along, and then all of a sudden she took ill. So, and it's pretty common when they don't get enough colostrum that when they hit this around, you know, that 5-week mark, that something goes on. Now, I have treated her as if it's clostridial too, but I do think that it is an issue with colostrum. So I should have tubed her. That's why I'm a bad shepherd. That's my fault. They weren't taking a bottle, and it took until day 2 to get one to even take, you know, any sort of bottle from me to pick one to put on the machine. So I should have tubed her and taken her right away. That's my own fault, but it is what it is. We all live and learn. I don't think it's clostridial because, yes, there is one other with a poopy bum there, but I don't foresee that being, you know, why she's sick. So what'll happen is that other triplet, that's the second one back, and this one won't get weaned, and these other 4 will get weaned from the milk machine. And then I'll leave those 2, maybe the third triplet. And anyway, these other 3 are plenty big enough and old enough to come off the milk. They're not going to be happy with me. But yeah, that's the bottle lambs. I don't have names for any of them other than, you know, Monkey Baby. This one here, I think I was calling her Peanut or Noelle, or I can't remember. But they're all just kind of existing. Oh, jeez, you're so bad. You are so bad. Once they get out with the rest of the babies, they'll stop that aggressive behavior. But he wants me to kneel down for him to give him attention. This makes me feel much better. There is lots of space for everybody to lay down. I think I took 10 ewes out. Just opens up a little bit more area for them. Can you hush? And had a set of twins, and then the single that was born earlier. Set of twins hanging out there. I really dislike overcrowding, and especially a couple of these ewes are the ones that once my shears broke this year, I never got them fixed. And so they're a little bit woolly, so I don't want it to get too warm in here either for everybody. So you can see she's kind of breathing a little harder there too, but she'll be fine. I think it's about 4 degrees in the barn right now, so they'll be fine. But yeah, I really dislike overcrowding. So, what do you think, Big Mama? Are you sick of being pregnant? Thinking that you in the corner might be pre-laboring right now. So there is some udder action going on, but nothing crazy. You know, we're not going to have a lot of lambs born all at once. There's a few that are growing. So a little run through of this group. Now these guys are kind of a little bit of a mixed bag. So there are some orange tags in here. Those are, I don't even know how many lambings there are, probably around that 6th or 7th lambing group. They're getting some age to them. All of these green tags are a second lammer, so they're coming 2 years old and they're having their second round of lambs. This one right here in particular, now she didn't have a lamb last year. She actually miscarried her baby like quite a ways before the lambing group was due, and I just didn't want to go through the time and rebreed her. So she will be having her first lamb even though she is 2 years old. And then there's, this girl's a G, so I'll put up on screen what year she is. She's an older girl. In fact, I think she's a year older than all these orange tags. And then there's some yellow tags in here. So it's kind of a mixed group. These older ewes are just absolutely massive. So, oh, look, we even have a pink tag, but that pink tag is one of these ones that missed in the last lambing group. So there are 2 in here that did miss out of the lambing group. She is one of them, and this purple tag right here is another one of them. So they were originally supposed to lamb in December with that last group, and because I always turn out and have a cover because I don't pregnancy scan my ewes, these 2 are in that now gonna lamb with this group. So, and they'll eventually go back and lamb with their other group in December again. Just, you know, I just don't like pregnancy scanning, and you know, if they miss this second time and they wouldn't have got pregnant, then they would have left. Like, I would have called them. So yeah, that's why the story of there's a couple here that have a couple of extra pink dots on them. And yeah, so it's kind of a mixed group, but mostly second lammers in here. So yeah, there should be lots of little lambs coming and lots of good content in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're subscribed. And in the next video, I'll take you out and show you the older lambs that are outside and what I'm doing with them and how they're growing, and you know, just the typical updates. But I'll also do a little bit of a intro about me. And so if you have any questions or anything that hasn't already been put in the comments, then make sure you put them down in the comments, because we'll do a little bit of a about Sheep Happens Ranch video on the next one while we're waiting for little lammies. So, but thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye.